And the relationship is a difficult relationship. Male-female relationship is difficult. It is, undeniably. Marriages will have difficulties. It's very rare to get two completely compatible people. It happens, but it's rare. So you're going to be in this binary relationship where men have a different, and comedians have done a lot of stuff on this, on the different ways that men and women think. There's a man who does marriage counseling in America who talks about men compartmentalizing everything, which is why a man can marry a second wife or a third wife, and the first wife cannot understand that, because for her it's all that love is directed to that person, and she cannot understand how a man could have love, that type of love, directed to another person. It doesn't fit, and that's why multiple marriages are very problematic. And there's a reason why the Arabs call the second wife al-darra, that it's harmful. And that's what they're called in the Arabic language, dara'ir. That's Sharia calls them darra, which means a source of harm, because the first wife is definitely harmed by that. And so that was my point, just about the Prophet ﷺ he empowered women. He was not afraid of strong women, and our community needs to learn to do that. The women also need to learn their power, to use their power in ways that don't also deflate the dignity of men. That's very important, because yes, men have pride, and if what happened in Medina with the verses about domestic violence, that was, according to Tahir ibn Ashur, that was to save the dignity of these men. Because the Prophet was going to have a completely egalitarian situation where the women literally could hit the men back without the men being able to do anything. And the Quran came down. And so that's a sign to me that we need to learn how to work with these two, the zawj, the azwaj. Allah created everything in azwaj, and you have a negative and a positive. The Chinese had a very, very sophisticated cosmology about yin and yang. And we have Jamal and Jalal. Allah's Dhul Jalali wal Ikram. Allah has both qualities. He has what, I don't want to use the words feminine and masculine, but majestic and beautiful are the words that we have traditionally used for them. So men are majestic outwardly, they're supposed to be beautiful inwardly. Women are beautiful outwardly, they're supposed to be majestic inwardly. And these are cosmological dynamics. This is the metaphysics of traditional Islam. So it's not an easy thing to navigate, especially now, because first of all, physical labor is no longer, does not hold the position it holds in societies anymore. In previous societies, women could not do physical labor without aborting their children, right? If they went out and plowed the field pregnant, they would very often lose. And so there was a division of labor that happened in human societies. Because most societies were agricultural, there's a lot of physical work. So the women did other work, and there was a division of labor. The modern society is no longer the case. Women can do everything that men can do in modern societies without the threat of losing their children and things like that. That's very disruptive to quote-unquote traditional societies, where men were the breadwinners, and there was a whole understanding that went with that. And so a lot of men are having a really difficult time figuring out what's going on and how we navigate them, because now they've got women that are their bosses, and they're more qualified, very often more intelligent, they have better educations, and it's difficult for men to navigate this. But Islam does not have that problem if people understand the religion. Men are not less intelligent than women.